This is Top Secret, and in today's video we're going to take a look at how to do a NifSwap for Civilization 4. So a NifSwap is when you swap out the Nif files, usually the main body, and it's very similar to a weapon swap like we did in another video. So I have this worker right here for my mod. Today we're working on my Middle Earth mod, not the Overexplained mod, even though this is an Overexplained video, because I need to do a NifSwap anyway, so I'm killing two birds with one stone. So the Radrum worker, which is this guy right here, I need a Harad Militia. So I have a Militia model that I want, and he's right over here. Hold on. All right. And if you want to switch back and forth, once you've clicked two of these on Windows, I don't know what you do for Mac, you can press Alt-Tab and it will switch back and forth in between the programs. So this guy, I want his sword and the shield, I want him to do the animation. But if I put him into the sword and the shield into the worker animation, it's not going to work. Can't just do a weapon swap because workers have totally different animations. Doesn't work. So how do I get this guy to have this sword and shield and do the same animations as this guy? Because he has different animations. Well, that's when you do a NifSwap. So we're going to put this 3D file into here. And it's really similar to a weapon swap. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong, but we won't talk about all those today. We'll go over those individually in different videos. We're just going to do the most basic one. So first, what you need to do is get a folder and put the one you have the body of and the animation you want to use in the same one. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to close both of these NifSkopes. All right, we're going to put them all in this main folder right here called Harad Militia. I have right here, I have all these Haradran ones, and Harad Militia is where we're going to put this. So first, copy one over here. Then copy the other guys in here. Now I'll remove these two folders for now because we don't need them. So once you have everything in here, we don't need this. It's a button, but I have another one somewhere else. Okay, there's more stuff we can delete later, but let's not worry about that right now. Now, first thing you want to do is you want to open up both of these. Now, sometimes NifSkope is picky and won't open both. I just clicked this one, but it wouldn't open the worker. So you just hit new window or Control N, then press load and load the one you want. That forces it to load. Now we click this and we can Alt Tab back and forth between the two. Okay, so I want this guy in here. It's really easy. You press block, so you right click him and press block. Then you press copy branch, or you just click them and press Control C. Then you come over here and you need to open again the block list, which is F2. And then to get what you want, just click on them. It'll take you straight there. In this case, it's 58. So what you do is I find the parent, which is the one right up above it that's just barely indented. See it right here? It's called Knight Templar Body. And I'm going to paste it in there or press Control V. All right, now, in this case, it put him almost exactly there. Now, you see we still have both. So we're going to have to get rid of him. So, of the other one. So what I'll do is I'll go to Transform and Edit to make sure that I have him in exactly the right place. If we look, even his hands are a little bit higher up here, but his shoes are a little bit lower. You can play around with it and load it up after you remove the other guy to see. But what I do notice is that he's scooted back a little bit compared to the target one. This is the guy who was in here first. So we want to make him as close to that as possible. Okay, so I scooted him up one basically. Once you do that, it's almost exactly like the weapon swap. You just scroll up and down, change this value. You can also click these right here. Then you want to delete the guy who was originally in here. And believe it or not, most of the time, that will swap it for you. All you have to do is press Save As. Now, this is now called Harad Militia because it's not Arnor, which is who I copied it from. It's a Harad worker on this. Now, how does that work? Let's explain that real quick because we're done. Sometimes let me explain this real quick. Sometimes the rotation will be funny. You'll have to play around with it in here. And the worst one is P, because I don't remember what all these stand for. I knew it one time. But when you get to 90, sometimes it will flow over, turn these both to negative 180, and then it's 89. Don't let that confuse you. Now you need to start going down, because the way these are connected, when P flows over 90 or negative 90, it flips the other two. So don't get confused. Just play around with it for a while. You should get how the rotation works. But basically, like, if you put him in and he's rotated upside down, try, flip it by 180. But especially with the P value, these you can change as much as you want. But with the P value, you need to scroll and then scroll up, and then it'll flip these for you, and then you scroll down, because it's just funny. All right, so I didn't say that, by the way. Okay, so this guy's here. How does it work? Here's how it works. So if you go into skin instance, the way this works is when you copy it and paste it, they have different locations for their bones. These BIPs are called bones. They tell the model and all these different triangles and points on the triangles where to go. So when you copy it and paste it into the new one, it maps them into the correct locations. And if you see one that looks funny, it's because the difference between the two is so great. That's why this doesn't work very well on leader heads that are different, because you can't just do that. So anyway, once you've done that, you've got this guy right here pasted in. It maps like the ones that were connected to the old spine. It puts it on the animation in here. Occasionally their names are different, especially forearm. Sometimes the forearm in your target one will say forearm and the A will be capitalized. You have to go change it. And if you want to put stuff on a horse, there's a whole another step. But we'll do that later. The most basic thing you do is copy and paste. If there's an error, go to the thread, ask me about it, and I will make a video for that specific error. All right. So once you've saved it, you're pretty much done. All we have to do is I need to put him into the game. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to replace, let's see. I'm just going to copy him. First, let's clean up our folder. Okay, we don't need MindSpark because I'm deleting the ones from the old one, the worker tools, because he's not a worker. So it doesn't use any of those animation files. I'll also delete these. And if you want to make sure you didn't mess something up, just load it up. And if you have all the animations still after you deleted everything, I mean the textures, if you have all the textures and it's still colored, you're still good. All right, I'm just going to copy this to the Overexplained mod, and here's why. It's going to be easier. Let's see here. So new folder, I'm going to put it in units. Okay, and I'm going to paste it in here. Now, I don't think we've changed any units. So here we're going to do units. We're going to go back to Beyond the Sword, press art. Oh, whoops, XML art. So we go to XML art defines unit. And we're going to switch out the regular warrior. So let me show you how to do that real quick to look like this guy. Oops, I'm so used to clicking Middle Earth. Overexplained. All right, assets. XML. Now, not units right now, because we're just going to change the unit art of the regular warrior. So we're just going to switch out the warrior. Do not do this in the base game. Only do this on your mod. All right, warrior. All right, art, units, warrior. Okay, so what we're going to change is mainly these three files right here. Now. Okay, so here's what you need to do when you put it in the game. You need to find the animation XML that you used before and copy that. Now, I'm just doing this for the Overexplained mod. So, let's use So not to go too fast, but basically I want to leave the warrior's buttons the same. I'm just changing how it looks. So what I'm going to do is copy everything from F scale down to the end, which is /unit art info. All those tags, we've been over this in other videos. And so once you post that in there, we're going to go art, units, and then I think I just posted it. So to double check, go to assets, art, units, Harad Militia. So that's what we type in here, art, units, Harad Militia. I always like to keep a uniform system. So like don't randomly put it in random folders. And if you have a lot of art just for one civilization, put it in that folder. All right, so here's the key. You have to direct it straight to the NIF that you just posted it into, and then you have to use the KFM file. So the KFM file right here is Knights Templar. That's the animation of the unit I posted it into. So that's what's going to send it to. It's going to send the animation to that. So now that we plugged it in, so literally you just copy and paste. That's it. That's a NifSwap, basically. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong, but the most basic is you copy all the texture files over, you copy the NI tri strips. Yeah, let me click this again just so you know what's going on. It's called an NI tri shape or NI tri strips. It varies from model to model. Some are better than others at certain times, but it's okay. It's NI tri, and you'll see shape or strips, and then you copy it from one to the other. If you get an error, it's probably because of something in here, the skin instance, or it looks funny. There's things you can do about that, but let's not worry about that right now. So we changed the warrior. Here we go. And I have no idea why this says horse shadow. This is a shadow for a horse. Let's get rid of that. Let's use unit shadow. Okay, fixed. All right, now, so we changed the XML of by pointing it to the correct NIF, the correct shader NIF, and the KFM. Now we're gonna load up the Overexplained mod. Don't worry about that. Now this will change it on the base in the Civilopedia. It'll change the art of the warrior. Remember, we didn't change the button. We don't care about that. So we're gonna change the art. We changed the art of the warrior. Oh, I forgot. Marty starts with hunting, so he has a scout. Anyway, oops. All right, let's use warrior. Oh, these guys have an art style. All right, we're gonna use the barbarian warrior. Okay, so let me explain real quick what an art style is. You probably already know it because if you've played Civ 4, but the Aztecs have certain unique art. That's why I made this guy in the first place, because he's for my art. So anyway, he's a warrior. Let's see what he looks like when he fights. Let's fight him with a swordsman right here. And look at that. There he is. He's fighting. And we performed a NifSwap. I hope that was helpful. If you have any comments, leave them below. And make sure to check out the Civ Fanatics thread. Thanks for watching.